That was crazy.
Nobody expected such a shootout. I mean, these two teams.
And the Bucks getting to 2-0 against Carolina. We're going to talk about that one in this segment also. But first, it was like Dan Marino against Joe Montana in that game. The Texans and Redskins. McNabb put up 426, only to be outdone in the end by Schaub's 497 and 3 touchdowns in the overtime win for the Texans. Comeback win from down 27 to 10 in the third quarter. So it's the Texans erased any doubt to me that they're contenders in this game. Week 1, they had Colts. They got the Colts at home. Nice win, start the season, but are they really going to challenge in that division? And then they back it up with a road win over a Washington team that, to me, is clearly a lot improved over last year.
A really good defensive team in Washington, too. I mean, a lot of people, they had a really good defense last year. This year, just looking just as good. But, I mean, their secondary just got torched. I mean, I don't know what it was, but, I mean, Andre Davis and Walter both. I mean, 23 catches combined. Andre Johnson, sorry. And Kevin Walter. Wow. 11 catches, 144. Johnson
11 for 11 on targets to Walter. That's crazy.
It's a good percentage right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was throwing it to everyone.
Yeah.
He just was not. I mean, he could just throw it up. That was the signature play of the game. Was I'm just going to throw it up to Andre Johnson as I'm getting hit in the end zone. Sure, no problem. Yeah, I mean, he easily.
Well, one of the things that I thought was a big key was Gano's block field goal at the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Obviously, a huge play, and then Gano misses a 52-yarder at overtime.
With the timeout, after the timeout,
yeah.
Of course. The timeout, the rare instance. The first time I've ever seen that work, actually, to tell you the truth. Calling timeout right at the last second. And the dude makes it, and then he misses the second one.
Yeah. It was a pretty intense game all around.
These are two good football teams.
Yeah, they're two good teams.
I'm impressed with how McNabb looks. I mean, everyone, question marks with the ankle and everything like that coming into the season. I've been really impressed with the way he looked. I mean, especially in the first half of this game when they went up 20-7 at one point. I mean, McNabb was 10 for 15, 128 yards.
Threw a lot of beautiful passes.
Yeah, I mean, just
really great balls.
Looked really good. Looked really good in the first half of this game. I mean, it looked good in the second half, too. I mean, come on, like you said, 426.
You don't go for 426 out without being pretty good all game.
I'm not sure after just 2 weeks that anyone in the NFC East wins 10 games this season. I'm really not. I think they might end up beating each other up a lot.
I don't know.
And you might see a couple 9-7s, a couple 8-8s, maybe a 7-9. Right now, I think the Giants obviously have fallen back a little bit. Dallas, of course, is 0-2 in last, but I still think it's looked a little better than the Giants, who are 1-1.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I don't think Dallas has looked better than the Giants.
Dallas has looked awful.
Colts looked amazing in that game.
Penalties, but they've been able to move the ball a lot better than the Giants. But a lot of penalties for Dallas.
I suppose. A lot of
penalties for Dallas. A lot of penalties.
And let's face it, the big story of this Redskins Texans game was the comeback.
Yeah,
the comeback in the other game. The Redskins outplayed Houston for all but 5 minutes of that game, and then Houston just roared back in the fourth quarter. And
well, in the third quarter, they got a touchdown in the last play of the third quarter.
I'm not saying five minutes consecutively necessarily. I'm just saying they definitely outplayed Houston for the majority of the game.
Oh, without a doubt.
And still, even with that, had a chance to win it. Had multiple chances to win it.
Multiple chances. Okay. How about the Bucks in Carolina? Is there a reason for hope around here now?
I think so. Josh Freeman played one of his most complete games in the NFL. Complete games. I mean, started the game off 8 for 12. I mean, ended up 12 of 24 for 178, but 8 of 12 for, I think it was 128 yards.
He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything stupid.
No turnovers,
which is going to be the key next week against Pittsburgh.
Yes, not do anything stupid. But the one thing that's going to end up hurting the Bucks is the fact that Cadillac Williams had 27 carries for 51 yards. You're going to need to run the ball better than that against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's run defense is pretty stellar,
They are.
especially compared to Carolina. So the Bucks, I don't know how they're going to successfully
But,
run the ball next
Hey,
week.
on
but
the other side of the ball, how are those two rookie defensive tackles looking? Price and what was it? Price and Cody.
good. Their Bucks D was like dumb. They held.
Come on, the two-headed running attack of Carolina was held between the two of them. There were 19 carries.
They were like
No, it was 17 and 8, 54 and 43. I think they have them
25 carries for
97
yards,
yards.
under 4 yards a carry for the second straight week. And last year, both of them
Rush for 1,100
averaged,
yards.
and they both averaged 5 yards a carry. Williams and Stewart both averaged 5 yards a carry.
How about
And
this
year
young?
they're both
this,
under 4.
This Young's Buck defense. Barrett Rude's looking really good in the middle too.
He's the best.
Had a dismal season last year, but he's looked like he's stepping up into that middle linebacker spot like he needs to be. I mean, and 9 tackles this week.
They're going to need to keep that pressure. Their defense is going to have to continue to make plays.
It is. I mean, 2 picks. You know, the vet Rondé Barber out there had a pick. Aqib Talib, obviously the number 1
They
defensive
need
back
that
right now.
balanced veteran presence of Barber and Barrett Rude out there to anchor the D. They need to keep, everyone in the game, everyone focused. Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib needs to stay off the field problems.
Yeah.
Number one thing for him because he's got
All the
incredible
talent.
talent. And he definitely is a difference maker on that defense.
Yeah.
Maybe we underrated the fact that he was going to come in there and make a difference for them last week. I know I was high on Carolina to rough up the Bucks in this game, but it didn't go as I expected to at all.
Well, I mean,
Carolina couldn't run.
Yeah, going into this game, I mean, we all 3 of us probably sat here and were thinking, oh, okay, this young Tampa Bay defense, this front 4, 2 rookies in the middle. Styles White still hasn't proven himself all that much yet, and you got to put the ball in the hands of D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart to just run over this front 4 and run over this young defense. But they were stout up the middle. I mean, pushed around that big Carolina offensive line. I was impressed.
Definitely held their ground.
They just don't have. He doesn't have the weapons to really throw to though.
Kellen Winslow, man, is coming up, man. Made a bunch of big catches.
Kellen Winslow is a stud of a tight end.
I like Mike Williams, the rookie out of Syracuse.
He's made a big play in both games.
Yep, 2 touchdowns in the season for a rookie.
But Freeman,
And he's a big body.
The development of Freeman is obviously going to be a big story for the Bucks as the year goes on because Bucks fans, and if you follow the franchise for the last 30 years, haven't really seen a drafted quarterback develop and become good.
Yeah.
The two
Have they
biggest,
ever?
the two first. Well, they drafted Trent Dilfer, and with the 6th pick in '94,
And saw him to go on to be good somewhere else.
not even that good.
Yeah, I mean, fine, win a Super Bowl
Adequate.
somewhere else.
And
Yeah.
then Vinny Testaverde was the other one that they drafted. Those are the 2 really that they've drafted, and none of them ever became really
They didn't.
the
They didn't
franchise
draft Steve
quarterback
Young.
that they imagined. Well, and stuck
Well,
around to see him
Vinny
play.
became a very good quarterback.
Not for them.
Not for them.
Right. I'm saying they need, to see a guy that grows into a great quarterback for the Bucks. Bucks fans have never seen that. That's why I think they were very skeptical about Freeman when he was first picked.
I do think that Freeman is in for a rude awakening this week, but I also think
Against
the
that
Bucks defense matches up well against Pittsburgh's offense. And if
Especially with Charlie Batch or Byron Leftwich in there.
Their Tampa Bay can just not turn the ball over,
That's the key. Not turn the ball over against the Steelers and keep their limited offense.
the Bucks special teams play is the best I've ever seen. I know it's just through a couple games, but it's the best that I've ever seen out of them this year. I mean,
We'll end it on
their
that.
kick
Spur
return-
loss.
their kick
Team's
return
gonna keep.
game.
We gotta go. That's
Yeah.
it. Good luck to the Bucks against Pittsburgh next week.